Your computer is killing you.
I decided to create a computer-related injury meetup group. So I went on meetup.com, I typed in computer-related injury, and I found a guy named Linus. And he didn't actually start a meetup group, but he posted a little note there. So I contacted him, we got together. I said, why don't we start a meetup group together? He said, well, what if nobody shows up? I said, it doesn't matter. We'll start, there'll be 2 of us. Eventually we'll find more people. Eventually more and more people came to the group, and we had some doctors, chiropractors, one of whom was Dr. Arthur Hong, who practices active release technique, and we even referred some of the people from the computer-related injury group to Dr. Hong, and they even got some great results. I'm here with Arthur Hong, who's a sports-certified chiropractor in Los Angeles. So, Dr. Art, when I was in pain, one of my friends told me, hey, why don't you go see a chiropractor? But I thought, seeing a chiropractor is not going to help me, and it's going to be way too expensive.
If you have a repetitive stress injury, such as carpal tunnel syndrome, getting your back or your neck adjusted is not going to do a damn thing to correct it. You've got to treat the exact structures that are involved, which includes the soft tissues, the muscles, ligaments, tendons, nerves, etc.
The people that I've talked to, they go to the chiropractor for years and years and years, and they keep paying every week, they spend tons of money, and they don't actually get better because they just go back to their workstation, they do the same things, typing on the computer the wrong way, and it seems like just a waste of time and money.
They might get some temporary relief from the adjustments, from the therapy that the chiropractor does, including the E-stim, the ultrasound, but to really break up the adhesions, in my opinion, the best technique to use is called active release technique. We basically break up adhesions between muscles so that they can move freely, and we allow nerve fibers to run freely along their course.
Active release technique, I've never heard of that before. Is that a board certified technique?
I'd say less than 2% of chiropractors actually know about this technique and are certified in it. The certifying agency is in Colorado. You can find their website at activerelease.com. It takes extensive training, just an abundant knowledge of anatomy and biomechanics to become good at this, as well as time, practice, and touch sensitivity. It'll take years to become a master at this technique.
Is this a new technique? Where did it come from?
It's a technique that was created by a chiropractor who was actually, he was an Air Force test pilot who became an engineer who became a chiropractor. He graduated first in his class, and he developed this soft tissue technique called active release techniques. He's quite a genius of a man, and basically with this technique it allows you to break up any kind of adhesions that form from any repetitive stress injuries, and to lengthen the muscles and to allow the nerves to slide and floss through the associated structures clearly.
Tell me a story about somebody who used active release technique and was successful in getting better.
I basically had a patient who went to several different specialists, MDs, including an OB-GYN, an emergency medical doctor, a gastroenterologist, just all different sorts of specialists for a hip problem. And they're all misdiagnosed, and basically I found that she had repetitive stress injuries in her hip area. And I just treated those, and after a few sessions, she's 80 to 90% better. As a former techie myself, I suffered from repetitive stress injuries, and furthermore, I want to become a full body physician. I want to treat all aspects of the body, not just the back and the neck. If somebody has a wrist problem, a hand problem, sciatica, a problem with their foot, I would like to be able to help them.
What made you decide to focus on computer-related injury in your practice?
I feel that computer-related injuries are prevalent in the United States. There are probably hundreds of thousands of computer users, techies, who suffer from repetitive stress injuries such as carpal tunnel syndrome. And I feel that there's a great disservice being done for these injuries at the moment. Probably the most common, the most widely known option to treat carpal tunnel syndrome is to cut the there's a ligament called the transverse carpal ligament in the bottom of your hand here, which the surgeon will cut. And oftentimes this does release pressure on the nerve, thus relieving the pain and all those unpleasant sensations. But other times it doesn't do a damn thing. So I found out that there was a better way, and I devoted my life to basically treating these types of injuries and disorders.
I played the guitar when I was 19 too zealously, and I injured myself by playing and having some minor pain and then playing over that pain day to day. It accumulated and then I got injured quite severely. My injury progressed. It's called rock in a shoe effect, when you compensate for your muscles that are injured with other muscles and they got injured as well. That's how it spread to computer and even writing, handwriting.
Right, and then it got so bad you couldn't even write or use a computer
Right.
or do much of anything.
Anything, yeah.
How did you start getting your life back on track after
Well,
that?
I got government help and I went back to school and I felt really great about advancing my life, and I felt like I have a chance because of the country that I'm in, which is, you know, I'm really grateful to this country.
When I first met Linus, he wouldn't even shake my hand. He walked around like this. He wouldn't use his hands or fingers for anything because he had RSI, repetitive strain injuries. And that is something, when you do something over and over again, for him it was playing the guitar, that he developed all sorts of pain and it made him disabled. How did it feel when you couldn't use your hands at all?
Well, it was really devastating. I felt pain all over. Anything I would do would hurt me, and it was really difficult to go through your daily life without using your hands much, so it was quite devastating.
Through the meetup group, I then introduced you to Dr. Arthur Hong, who knows active release technique, and then you started receiving treatments. How did it go?
Well, Brian, I'm very grateful that you referred me to Dr. Art Hong, because meeting him has been a great development in treating my injury. When I first saw Dr. Art Hong, I wasn't even able to turn a page of a book, and now I'm able to do that, and I'm a big reader, so I'm really grateful. And it's still work in progress, but I have great hopes, and they're, I think, quite well-based hopes for me to heal. I saw 2 or 3 doctors before, and I went even as far as going to UCLA, and I saw a physical therapist there, and it only made me worse.
Did you ever go to any doctors when you had pain?
I did, and they were unable to help me.
What did they do?
They gave me corticosteroid injections, they gave me muscle relaxers, pain pills. An RSI is a repetitive stress injury. It's basically an injury that occurs over a long period of time due to a certain motion that a person does over and over again, such as typing on a keyboard, using a mouse over and over again, or the checkout person who just does this motion all day long.
Where do you think the meetup group is going to go? What are your hopes for it?
I have great hopes for it, because I think that meeting people with the same experience, and we can exchange experiences and share our concerns, and it can help us heal.
We need your help. This is a collaborative film project. The side effects of our techie lifestyles are affecting us right now, every single day. There's even a World of Warcraft widows group with over 4,000 members. Women who've lost their boyfriends and their husbands and their families to video game addiction. People who've lost their careers to computer-related injury, companies who have lost their best employees. We can change this. You can be part of the solution. You can help us figure out what all the problems are and what we should do about them. You can send us your stories, your opinions, your videos, and we can even get you on camera. We're open to talking to everyone and anyone. We'll talk to companies like Microsoft, Dell, Apple, and even Blizzard. We'll talk to injured users, doctors, and experts. Every single person who wants to be involved can participate. This is going to be an ongoing series brought to you by Movie Pals Entertainment, open cinema for everyone.
Do you know that for as little as $300, Movie Pals also creates commercial videos using the same resources we use to produce the video you just watched? Imagine having the Movie Pals creative team using the power of sight and sound to reach your audience. Does your website have a video? Does your company have video on YouTube? Do you have a video for local TV? If not, why not? When for as little as $300 without jumping through hoops, you can have all that and more. Movie Pals is the right place to get video at a fraction of what other companies charge, but there's even more. MoviePals.org makes getting started simple as well as affordable. Without having to jump through hoops or guess at the price, you can go to MoviePals.org right now and order complete video packages that include everything you need from script to screen.